Right, welcome to part 2. Right, we've got an instruction manual. Apologies for that. Now you'll have to bear with me because I'm looking at this upside down. So Prince of Wales, 1/350th scale, all in black and white, so you can't actually really see anything, which is a shame. But that's just basically giving you an idea of the nice little picture of the ship there that doesn't do a lot. There's no colour code with this. On the back are the parts. Right, so the painting guard is at the back and the parts are all at the back. So the various parts that sprues the decks, the stand, and then all the sprues here. So that's the parts list at the back. And then I'm not sure about them bits in blue. It might be that you don't use them. Right, now let's get that the right way up for you. So it's starting from the front. Now where are we? I've got to get used to working upside down now. Right now. So Prince of Wales. Oh. Yeah, I see, you get the picture now. Nitwit. Okay. Now I know why there's two. I wondered why there was two instruction books. It's all in Japanese. I can't understand that. So let's throw that over there. Start again from here. Now we have the Prince of Wales. So first off we have a little call out or a history of the Prince of Wales. It's quite impressive actually. It's a couple of pages, a couple of actual photographs. Very small, but you might be able to get some stuff from it. See if I can get a bit further in. Let me try and see if I can get... That's better. So that's... Well, you can't see the whole page really. So I don't know, you might need to see the whole page. So it's quite impressive actually. There's quite a few... Yeah, you can't really see the whole page, can you? I can zoom in quite a bit, but you want to see the page, don't you? So let me get that right. Oh, getting used to working upside down, mate. So let's get that right. And if we move that along, so that's page 3. As you can see, there's quite a bit to that. There's, you know, it's a nice... well, I can't read all that because it's upside down. I'm looking at it on TV screen, I can read some of it. But that's not too bad, you know, I mean there's a couple of nice little pictures of the ship on 2 pages. And then we have a history of where it was. And hopefully, Battle of Malaya. So this is the Battle of Malaya here. So there's nothing about it being in the Denmark Straits. So this will have to be, so I'll have to check on this. If this is the colour code for the Battle of Malaya, it'll be a different code, a different colour code. So I'll have to check on that and see what colour it's going to be painted. There's nothing about, I'm reading this upside down to see if I can see anything. But no, it's a Battle of Malaya, December 1941. I suppose it would have changed much in its colours. Battle of Malaya, Battle of Malaya. So the colours in this are going to be based on what it was there. But that's 1941. So I don't think it would have changed much up to when it took on the Bismarck and the Prince Eugene. So I mean that'll be fine. I'll check on it and see if the colours have changed at some point. There's a possibility they may possibly have changed, maybe. But I'll have to look into that one. I'll have to check on that. So starting with thing, you start on page 5. So we start, this is where it gets weird, isn't it, when you're doing this. It's actually doing all the propellers and everything underneath first. Because if you do this first, you're going to knock on when you've got it, when you're starting to build it. Then you build in the armaments. I'm not sure about that. That might be a later part of the build. I'm going out of focus here. That might be a little bit later on in the build. So it's instruction 2 here. But I might just change that way later on. Don't see the point of building all the guns up way before you've done the decks. It's pretty pointless really. But this, if you've seen my Queen Mary, you'll see I've bolted that onto a long baseboard, and I'll do the same with this. I'll bolt it onto a baseboard. So part 6. You see, I'm on page 3, part 6. You're building up all the deck with the guns on it. So you've basically got the entire guns up. I'm not sure about this. You're putting the decks together. I think you're going to build this out of sequence, because I don't think you're going to build this like this. You're going to want to concentrate on the hull first. Get that all painted and done and ready. Because once it's on a baseboard and bolted in, you never have to touch the ship, or at least not drastically. I would be having a look at aftermarket kits for this. So some of this, like the breakwater, dependent on how good it looks. We'll have a look at all the plastic bits in a minute, and all these little tiny bits. You might be able to replace all of this with aftermarket. If you can't replace those 4 or 5 little bits there, certainly the breakwater can probably be replaced. Possibly the anchor chains and the anchors. And I think probably some of these guns with an aftermarket kit you could buy, almost certainly buy, aluminium barrels and probably the ladders to go up and down. Well, you can see a ladder going up the side of this one here. So I reckon aftermarket you better replace that ladder. And I think some of this, but I know from experience that you can replace a lot of this. I don't think, well I know, but I've never seen a Pontos kit that does aftermarket for this. And I've not seen a MK1 kit, which I really like. They're the ones I've got for the HMS Hood. I've got one coming for the Bismarck. And you can buy it for I've got the Prince Eugene on the way, and I can buy the MK1 for that. But I can certainly buy all the Edward upgrades for this. So I think these will not be, I won't be doing the guns first. I will concentrate on the hull, then concentrate on the decks. Let me see what the next page is like. You see them by here. Not only are you putting the hull in place, you're putting the deck in place. You can't really see all of that, can you? I can zoom into it. Alright, that's better. Now then, so this, once again at stage 5, you're putting the deck on with all the armaments on. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that at all. I know that these bits here can probably be replaced with aftermarket, so I would concentrate on doing the deck, but replace it, but doing all the aftermarket kit for it first, and putting a wooden deck down if there's going to be a wooden deck. I would do that first. So stage 5 would be stage 1 or around about there, or stage 2 after you've done the hull. This is for the aircraft. This is going in the centre of the deck. I doubt whether I would do that early either. I'm not sure about this. I don't think I would do that early. This here is the, I don't know what it is, catapult track, whatever that the aircraft would take off of. I reckon that would be replaced with aftermarket. I reckon some of this here, the lines going along, would probably be replaced. So I would do that. Once again, I wouldn't fit it into the deck at this point. I would work on it first and then fit it into the deck before coming along to it. And then by stage 7, we're doing the bow deck. And once again, you've done it all. You put all the. I would put the deck in, but once again, I wouldn't put the guns in at that point. I wouldn't have even built them at that point. I would have concentrated on this deck first, get all the aftermarket on the deck that needs to be done on the deck, get the wooden deck on if I'm going to use it or paint it, replace the, probably replace the, I forgot what you call that now, nitwit, breakwater. I'm sure you can replace that breakwater, dependent on how good the plastic part is. I'd have to get the aftermarket, and then I'll have to do a review of the aftermarket alongside this when I get the review to see what can be replaced. So I wouldn't put any of that on there to start with. I would just concentrate on the deck. I would have the decks fitted eventually with nothing on them other than the aftermarket. Then I would do these are the various cabin, a bridge and what have you. I think it's the bridge, I'm not sure. Can't read it because it's upside down, even if it does tell you. Right, so that's the boat deck, and that's the aft boat. So this is the boat deck. So once again, I think a lot of this will be replaced with aftermarket. Now I know that you can replace these boat, what are they? They're not davits. These bits that the boats sit on. Anyway, you can replace them, I believe, with photo etch. Now the problem is, if you replace them with photo etch, is that these are fairly nice. They're all in the correct order. They're fairly thick, so they've got a decent bit of thickness to them, so the boat sits in them nicely. If you replace them with photo etch, which you can do, the photo etch is so thin, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look any good. So those I wouldn't take off. I would probably keep them, irrespective of whether you can get a photo etch for them or not. And then I think a lot of this around the sides, the doors, you'd have aftermarket kit. You'd have the doors to be able to put doors on. Maybe these here, you might be able to add details to this. You might be able to add some details to that. It's not hard to say really. But I'll certainly have that done. The holes are done before all that is done. Now we're getting into some. Now we're building the boats. We're putting all the boats in place. And once again, I don't know. This is parts 9 and 10. I'm not sure I would do this. I don't know if I would do this from 9 and 10. I don't think I would. I might not do these in this order. And I know that from experience, if you can get the photo tech for these boats, that a lot of this can be replaced with photo etch, all these tops. The inside you can get proper oars and everything, and you can make these boats look a lot better with some aftermarket, lot better. So I wouldn't put these boats on first. I wouldn't do this at this point. Maybe might build the boat deck, getting it ready, but I wouldn't put it in position. Well, I might put the boat deck in position, but we'll have to think about the boats whether I would do them in that order, because then you're coming into the likes of the bridge. I can't read it upside down again. So this is the bridge, whatever that says. Bridge. So this is all bridge. This is all bridge work. Bridge work 1. So once again, that's what detail. Tamiya details, and Tamiya make nice kits. Not as good as they used to be, in my opinion. Tamiya used to be the kit maker to go to at one point. They were so good with their kits, especially the boats. But they've been overtaken now. Trumpeter have gone back to surpass them. Revell had produced some really nice kits, although the Revell kits are leave a lot to be desired at times, to be fair. But still, anyway, that's irrespective. Tamiya still producing an excellent kit. And once again, a lot of this will be replaced with Phototech. You know, all the little bits. So part 11 might come down to part 2 or 3. I might do that. I'd build all these up before. I'd have to decide what order to do these in. Once you've got the hull done and the decks are fitted in place with all the various bits and bobs on before you start adding all the details. And I might do the bridge around about last. Once again, more bridge work going in. You see, you're building it up now, but I wouldn't be at this point now. I would be probably, well, I certainly wouldn't have the guns there. I wouldn't have the ship's boats there. They wouldn't go on till last. Some of them big bits on the bridge would go on. Some of these bits would go on last. And once again, a lot of these might be replaced with an upgrade kit. Not all of it, unfortunately. I've not seen much in upgrades for this kit. I've only seen the Edward one, or at least in the UK. Might be another one. Not one that I'm familiar with, if there is. That's 11, page 11. I'll see if I can undo this page. So by page 12, right, we're up to the funnels now. Now once again, the funnels, yeah, well, I might have some of this built in place. Yeah, maybe. Might follow the instructions too partly. But these funnels, once again, I think a lot of this can be replaced. I know that some of this can be replaced with photo etch. And there's a lot of stuff on the funnels that can be added. And there might be bits that can be added to these funnels. For instance, the top cowling. That's just going to be a plastic part by the look of it. But this can be replaced with photo etch. But what I do know is that when you replace these things, the photo etch can be quite complicated with these. It's the big bugbear with photo etch for me, is that some of the parts, you know, look a certain way, but photo etch is flat. So when you're going to have a round part, you're going to make a round part from a flat part. It can be really time consuming to do, and complicated as well. It really can be. It's worth photo etch. As I've said before in reviews, I don't like photo etch, but I do like photo etch. Oopsie daisy. So now we're up to the small guns. Once again, probably we'll be able to replace the barrels. And I reckon some of you might have ladders going up them. You might even have some handrails going around them. So that's, I'm going to do that for now. And this is where I would start building the main armament probably. I would probably do it about that stage. Because we're now coming up to stage 18. And this is mostly now putting on things like the, well, I can't see in master, but just putting on radar. That looks like a radar setup there. Just putting on, is it radar? Makes 2 sets, blah blah blah. Yeah, gun radar. So that's a radar finder. So these 2 bits are the radar finders. So these 2 here, these 2. Now I think the top of them might probably get replaced with photo etch. So these bits here, I reckon will be photo etch. And you might even get some brass parts. Right, this is going to stop recording in a minute. So this is going to have to be 2 parts. I'm going to have to bugger that because there's only a bit left of this. A bit miffed with that really. So this is going to run out now, it's the recording. And this is part 2. So let me just